Hello everybody, let's talk about breaking down requesting in an independent school or college case law. So, London Borough of Hillingdon versus SS and others. This case sets out that the legal principles that apply when a parent or young person requests an independent placement. So basically it sets out what we should be looking at when we are looking at an independent placement. It's depends on the type. If we're looking at an independent mainstream, we are looking at proving that is the only school in the area that can meet need. It's pretty similar for an independent specialist, if I'm quite honest. The only difference is if it's an independent mainstream and an independent specialist that's non-section 41, you need an offer of placement before it can even be considered a tribunal, and the LA cannot direct the school to take them. You'd need an offer of placement. If it's an independent specialist that's on the section 41 list, then you can ask tribunal to name it, and the local authority can direct them to take the child. So EC versus North West Lincolnshire LA 2015. When parents request an independent school, the Centre Tribunal must first decide whether both the parents' preferred school and the local authority's proposed school are capable of meeting the child's needs. If both can do so, the tribunal must then consider whether the additional cost of the independent placement is justified by any advantages it would offer the child or young person. So it's not just about if it costs more, it's a no-go. It's whether the advantages are justified that the child or young person would get for the additional cost of the placement. So it is a two-pronged way, and it would be justified. Hampshire CC versus R and Sendist. So if the parent's choice of placement is more expensive, this doesn't necessarily constitute as unreasonable public expenditure. The same tribunal must carry out a balancing exercise and can look, in addition to the educational benefits, at the wider health and social care benefits for the child to attend the school of the parent's choice. So again, this is looking at what the school offers and whether the educational benefits are better for the child to attend the more expensive one than the cheaper one. That's what it all comes down to. However, we do have to keep in mind, remember, that the local authority and the tribunal don't have to name the Rolls Royce of education. They just have to name what's suitable. So we have to keep that in mind as well. So we can't just say because it's got better things and it's got offers more better resources and etc. That would be considered the Rolls Royce of education. It's about the educational benefits being better at this school than the other school that gives the child the fair advantage. So Haining versus Warrington Borough Council. Cost savings to the LA of the child attending the school the parent prefers are also relevant. For example, the saving to the LA of a respite care placement which will not be needed if the child goes into a residential school on site, staff specialism therapies, which would otherwise present as a cost to LA NHS, or direct payments for social care which the parents may now no longer need. So if, for example, a child was going to go to a maintained specialist school that doesn't have the specialism therapies on site that a child would need, and that would present as an additional cost to the LA NHS, this is relevant, because that then means that if they go to the parental one that is independent, that costs more, however has specialism and therapies on site, so then that wouldn't be an additional cost. That also comes into a consideration here as well. AA versus London Borough of Hounslow. The case confirms that Section 9 of the Education Act 1996 does not give parents a legal right to have a particular school named in an EHCP plan. However, where none of the statutory expectations apply, parents should demonstrate this and explain that there is no other rational basis for departing from the general principle that a child should be educated in accordance with their parents' wishes. So basically, if there's the school can meet need, if it wouldn't be affect the education of others for that child to attend, and it wouldn't be and an inefficient use of public funding, then there's absolutely no reason why the child shouldn't be educated in accordance with the parents' wishes.